Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. I am Kristen and today I am going to scrapbook something that's coming up in a couple of months, the 4th of July. But I am going to do something that I have not officially planned. It's something I've never done before, and so I wanted to just kind of do it this way so you all can get an idea for honestly more like my kind of scrapbooking, where it's not terribly thought out and just kind of winging it in ways. So I did pull some papers out because I had an idea when I was going through organizing some papers. I found a bunch of these random scraps in my scrap pile that have all this red and texture and blue and white stripes and stars and different things. So it kind of made me think I'm going to pull out my pictures that I have from 4th of July. This is from 2018. And I have these pictures of me and my kiddo and my son and my nephew. And then I have this other picture that I have already pre-cut of some fireworks. So I have decided that I'm going to try like a little tearing, just some different techniques that I don't use very often, so I'm not like a professional. So if this is completely off, then yeah, well, there you go. That's pretty normal, but I will probably fix it because I'm pretty good at fixing the boo-boos that I make. So I'm going to start with white because if it'll show through much, white is definitely a color that I would be incorporating into 4th of July anyway. And of course, when people think of 4th of July, they think of fireworks. So I have this firework paper, and it's always been way too busy for me, and I've never really known how to use it without either covering everything, which seems pointless, or just, you know, it's not just so busy. I just didn't know what else to do with it. So I've watched so many different people who have been doing like techniques where they only use parts of the paper. And so we're going to try that today. The other thing that I think about with 4th of July is the stars and the stripes. So I've got these papers, and then I'm going to try and incorporate some of this paper as well. I've got lots of patriotic paper. I am a former military wife, so I have lots of different things for scrapbooking, like deployments and things like that. So here we go. I decided I wanted to try and incorporate, of course, red, white, and blue, and the stars and stripes and the fireworks. But I also want to incorporate like the shine and sparkles from the fireworks. So I've decided to partially do on the top of the page. I want to do some of this firework paper because, like I said, it is so busy. I just can't, I mean, the whole page is nothing but fireworks. So I wanted to incorporate that into the page, but I didn't want it to be so overwhelming that I couldn't do anything else. So, but I also have these super cute Jolie's fireworks, which I made sure would come through on my black paper. So, and some scrap paper because I'm the queen of keeping my scrap paper. And so I wanted to put a little bit of this in the corner so that I could use that. I didn't want to put the firework stickers on top of this firework paper. Kind of seems ridiculous because then it's, you know, redundant. You can't really see what's coming out as much. And put a little tear and tape down here so I can get these, at least get them started on the page. So anyway, like I was saying, my style is super fly by the seat of my pants. I have attention deficit disorder, and I definitely scrapbook that way. I certainly very rarely plan out my layouts more than, you know, oh, I'm going to scrapbook this holiday, or I'm going to scrapbook this birthday, or you know, this trip or whatever. I don't normally do a whole lot of planning other than like I do page planning. Like, oh, I'm gonna put, you know, these pictures of you know, my daughter and my son doing this on the beach or something along those lines, but I don't typically plan out the rest. So there's that. So the next thing on the agenda, we're gonna do some of the red, white, and blue from the flag. I don't really want all this straight edges. I'll tell you what, it has taken me, I don't know, I've been scrapbooking for 20 plus years, and it has taken me probably up until the last year to be able to honestly tear paper this way, because it is so hard to look at these really pretty papers and be like, oh, let's just destroy that. So, but I've watched so many people do these really neat techniques where they are tearing paper and it ends up looking so neat. And so I just really, instead of it ruining the paper, it is more along the lines of just adding character to your page so it doesn't look like everything else that you do. So since the flag is more of the red and white stripes, I'm going to add a little bit more of that than of the blue. And I would love to be one of those people who do these videos and say, oh, and this is this brand, and this came from here, and this company, and this. And I am not, because I've gotten my stuff from so many different places that, oh, I didn't want to do that. So I couldn't honestly tell you where half my stuff came from. I mean, Hobby Lobby and Michael's are a good bet, but there used to be this store here in Kentucky called Lasting Legacy, and I used to get a bunch of stuff from them before they went, I don't know, they closed here, so whether they closed everywhere, I don't know, but anyway, I would say, though, it is a good bet that I got it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. So, but I just like paper, and I have a lot of it. However, I will tell you, I have more stickers than anything that I own. I mean, books and books of it. I have said this before. I have so much that it is, I mean, I have tons of stickers. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many. But that's okay, because it comes in handy when I'm making pages and stuff. So I'm just going to cover this little bottom spot. Okay, so I like the way that it looks. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on here so this will lay down. I don't want to put too much tape in the middle pieces. Like, I don't mind these being up some, and I don't want to tape down the whole piece just yet, because I may go back and like tuck things, so I don't like putting a lot of tape in the beginning here. Usually what I do is I'll tape a corner so I can work around, and then when I am done, I probably get like my zig glue pen or something like that and put little dots under here so it'll be more secure. Okay, so the next step for me is I want to do this neat little technique that I have only done like one other time, because it makes me really nervous to get a picture. But since this was not people in it, except you can see my daughter down here in the bottom corner, barely watching this fireworks, I decided this was the perfect thing to do it with. So I put it on this shiny, shimmery, like really kind of thick cardstock. So I want to put this on here because I wanted to add that texture, and I also wanted to add that shine from the fireworks, because you know you don't get a full effect of how awesome the fireworks are when you are looking at a picture. So I'm gonna put this down. I sometimes have to use extra adhesive on this kind of paper because it's not like you don't get glitter on your fingers when you rub it, but it is, it's a little thicker and sometimes doesn't work as well on the taping things down. I was going to tell you what kind it was. Oh yeah, it's the Hot Buy paper from Michael's. Like I said, I get stuff from there all the time because I like the pretty paper. Okay, so my next step is to put the top stick one on because I don't know. Put the top, a lot of times when I'm doing something where I want it to be totally even, I'll put the top one on next, and then I end up with like this huge gap in the middle. So I can always cut the bottom off if I need to. So then I am going to see what I've done. This is what I'm saying. I mess things up like this all the time. The other day I scrapbooked a page of my daughter going off to college, and there was a picture of the back of my car chock full of stuff. I mean stuffed, you could barely see inside. And she is in the background peeking through from the front of the car. And I was putting it down on my paper. I had done this fantastic layout. And then I look and I was like, that bag is upside down. I can't believe all that stuff didn't fall out in my car. And then I realized it was a little picture. I had tacked down the picture upside down on my picture. So I was like, oh my gosh, seriously? So luckily, like I said, I'm a professional boo-boo fixer. And so I pulled it up very, very carefully. I am not normally a very gentle person, but I certainly was then because the whole page was done and I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah, nope. So I am trying to use up this paper. I got it from, I hate being a name dropper because I don't want to like discourage people from going places, but I got it from Walmart. I thought it was going to be, it said cardstock on the packaging, but honestly, the consistency is more like construction paper. And so, I mean, it had all the information that I needed on it, telling me that it was good to be used in scrapbooking and everything. But when, you know how when you're working with construction paper, it tears a lot easier. And so, yeah, that didn't go over well. So, I've been using it to mat pictures instead of like use as a backdrop because it tears easily. And so when I put this tear and tape down, if I'm not really careful, it will pull and tear it. So you're supposed to tear the tape, not tear the paper. All right, so I'm going to make a really thin border on this one, and I'm going to mat this one on here as well because it's just light color, and I may double mat it. I haven't decided. Like I said, I really am winging it. So the only thing that drives me nuts is when I'm making these videos, if I am using the tear and tape, it takes time. So I usually put it on the picture at least, so that's one less step you all have to witness. I like pulling this out if I have to, but I have it in a little sliding drawer, and it is so nice that I don't have to mess with getting it out all the time. This Creative Memories trimmer is fantastic because it has this little guide, and I know a lot of them do. Well, most of them probably do. So that I am less likely to screw up, but there's no guarantees. I have still made plenty of boo-boo cutting pictures. I've not yet cut a picture I couldn't fix. See, look, right there, I would have cut that picture. But I've come really close. Okay. And by the way, I do not sell or know anyone personally who sells that Creative Memories. So I am not trying to encourage people to buy it because of that. But it is good quality. And I will say this. I have the picture trimmer, or I think it's like I think its official name is like a personal trimmer or something. And I have the corner cutter from them. And I have had these since the late like 1996 or 1997. I got them as a gift for my sister, and they still trim every once perfectly. Every once in a while, I will get the foil out, and I will like, ooh, I don't want to cover that up. It's the whole point of the picture. And I will like put it through the trimmer, but not just so it'll like tighten. Look, see, I can't even find my words. Just so it will sharpen. Here we go. The blade. See, this is why I don't put tape right there, and here I did it anyway. Listen to my own advice. Tell you what. All right. I definitely do not want this piece of paper up my nose. Okay, so now this is the general idea of where I want to put things. I don't like all this white right here because you can't really see it on that white background. So now, before I tack everything down, I do want to go ahead and put some of this stuff on so I know where it's going. And I love when they're on clear backgrounds like this, because then, man, I can put it down and say, okay, look, I can see that, because I noticed earlier this one is, you can see really well, except there's parts of it you can't. And that one to me looks like a snowflake. So I really don't want to use that. This one's really cool. But because this red one is going to tie in what I'm doing, I am definitely going to use that. So first, I'm going to go ahead and tack down. That's why I love this tear and tape, because if it's too wide, then I just tear it and make it better. And I'll add a little extra over here. This tear and tape that I have came from Amazon, and it comes in different sizes, like widths. Like I have this width, but I also have somewhere buried on my desk. Oh my gosh, my desk is a disaster. The skinnier width, and I have a bunch of other ones that are like somewhere in between, or actually even a little wider than this one. This is my favorite for pictures because it holds it down, but I like to reserve my little skinny ones for very thin borders. All right, so I'm still going to leave this kind of up and a little tattered, because I don't want it to look taped down. I want it to kind of look like it's got some dimension. And I have a ton of other things that go along with 4th of July. Like I said, lots of patriotic stuff in this family. And I really like this shiny, and I think that it'll stand out better if I put it on this stars, because that dark will stand out. So I am going to do that, and then I'll put it down on here because I've already tacked this part down. So I can't tell you how many times I've actually tacked something down and then gone back, or I've put the pictures down and gone back, and I was like looking at the page and I'm like, oh, this looks good, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to tack the paper all the way down underneath the picture. Ay, ay, ay. All right, and I am a space saver. I do not like waste, and so I'm going to put this down here a little ways. Also a little bit on the OCD side, which is kind of an odd thing to have when you are ADD. It works really well for me because if I am spastic about getting stuff done, the good thing is my OCD will encourage me to at least get it completely done. So that is the positive. Those two things go together, at least for that. So I'm going to trim this kind of thin. I just wanted a little over here. Ah. See? Telling you what. Okay, see there? I tore that corner. that's what I'm saying. I am not in a hurry, but I'm like trying to get it done, and I didn't cut it all the way through with my cutter, and so I tore the corner, but that's okay because I will find a way to fix it. And that is something I plan on making an entire video about, because there are so many ways that you can fix your mistakes, and I've seen some really great videos before, and I just really like, you know, that people try and save you from completely redoing a page, or you know, any kind of layout that you do. I mean, some people get so frustrated that they just tear the whole thing apart and try and redo it, or even reprint pictures and stuff. And no, I am a penny pincher, because my husband kind of insists on that. And so that's just the way I am. So I try my very best not to put this all the way over here. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. I try my very best not to waste any money, or very little money, henceforth why. I have, I'm trying to think, one drawer of scraps for pattern paper. So in there I have scraps, some scraps as small as this. Now I won't keep that, but I have scraps about that size. I have scraps that are just, you know, have a little piece cut out in that drawer, and it's an entire drawer full. And then I have one of those little cabinets that has the 10 drawers. They're like the red, purple, green, all that kind of stuff. And each drawer has 8.5 by 11 paper that matches the drawer. But then the other drawer that matches that same color is scraps of that color that are bigger, you know, big enough to like mat even like a small picture or something. And then I have one of those plastic 3-drawer things. And the top drawer is all scraps that are like solid colors, but they're like this size. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. I can't help it though, because I can't stand to throw stuff away. And so I really just want to keep things. And so I organize all the time so that I don't forget that I have things. My husband's like, how is it that you organize like every other weekend? And I'm like, well, when I make a mess or when I get something new, I got to reorganize so that I can display, you know, a new paper pad or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, ooh, see, I almost tore that. There we go. Okay, so most of this is matted and tacked down, except for I haven't completely tacked down like these corners. So I'm mostly done with my paper. I do have all these other little neat papers that started the whole thing. But I think what I want to do is try and find some embellishments that I want to use. And I think this is really cute. And but I think I might want to use them. I don't know. See, I have these cute little things, but those won't match what I'm doing. And I don't need this cute thing because I already have that. But I do want to use some of these stickabilities. I love Hobby Lobby stickers. I have tons of them. And these, you can tell I've had them a while because I think they're like $1.99 now, these little packs. I told you I have tons of stickers. But anyway, I love these because you get 2 sheets of each. So I am so terrible about being like, not wanting to use a sticker because, oh, it's the only one I have. And what if I need it again? Well, what am I going to do with that? So anyway, I want to, you can't see that there. I want to start using them. So that is my goal right now. Is I'm not saying that I am not buying new stickers because I know myself better than that, but I am going to go with the fact that maybe instead of going out and buying new stickers, that I can start going through the stash that I have. And that is my plan, and I've been doing pretty good until Hobby Lobby had this huge sale and they had a ton of stuff go on clearance, and I totally failed at that because I went in there and I was like, I have no need for this certain sticker, but I might. And now I'm thinking, okay, how could I use that in something? Okay, so I just put foam squares on the back because I love to have some dimension on every page. And, you know, these are epoxy kind of 3D stickers, and they come out of the page too, and the tearing and stuff also. However, I really like to have, look, I almost did it. Did you see that? I almost made a boo-boo. I really like to have some things that just really pop off the page. So I've actually double foam stickered before because I wanted extra dimension, like on a waving flag. Like one corner will have 2 stickers and the other corner will have 1, so it looks like the top is, you know, waving. I can be super creative sometimes, and then I'll put a page together and I'll look at it and go, what was I thinking? Okay, so I want to put something on here to be my title because it's way too busy to put like a cut file title. And so I think I'm just gonna put this 4th of July on here because this was obviously 4th of July, and then I'll write the year over here in stickers. And I already have these oohs and ahs, which are super cute, and I will use those again because I'd really like to use this Proud to be an American and some of my multiple layouts for my husband and his deployments and his military career. So this, see, look, I almost tore that a bit. I want to put it somewhere where it's going to stand out. So right here where this white paper is, nope. There we go. Where the white is showing, I was saying how you can't really see it. So now this adds that there. All right. So this is my page. The only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some stickers and write 2018 on that corner. And probably tack down a couple of these corners. See, I told you I'm really good about putting everything down and realizing I forgot to tack all the paper. So anyway, I hope that you all liked this kind of random scrap as I go. Like I said, I had no clue what I was going to do. I just wanted the concept of the different papers on the page. And this face on my nephew. Anyway, so here it is. And I may, like I said, add a couple little more pops of things here and stuff, but this is the way I think that I'm going to leave it, except for putting that date on there. So I hope you all have a great day, a great night, whatever, and hopefully you all will come back and we can do this again, and I'm going to find a way to fix this little boo-boo in the corner that you can't see. You all have a great night.